David.
Right?
Great. Oh, shoot. Why did I say David? Who's David?
Yeah, because you talked
Oh,
about
because I
David,
seen
yes.
David. Sorry, guys. They're behind you. Usually they're in the... Anyway. So, Greg. Greg with Chapa.
He has a new adopted name.
Yes. Yeah. Well, David and Greg. They're both amazing. And then we have Thrivent. John with Thrivent. And look, guys, I don't have their names written down, so I think I did pretty good.
Yes,
Thrivent will help us. So I had a meeting last night, Papa, and in this meeting we were talking about how the missing component on building wealth is also a life insurance, 401ks, IRAs, savings. Like, what does that look like? And Thrivent's gonna add that extra resource to our participants that are here. But that's our team in a whole, and I hope that I did them proud by explaining what each one of them do. But I mean, they're here for you. They're going to be here to answer all your questions and give you resources in one place here, February 17th from 3 to 6 p.m. So we look forward to hearing you. And if you haven't done so already, there's a QR code that you can go and register. So please do so, or stop on by. You don't register, but come on by, because I'm sure Lori, Mama Bear, would love that.
Yes, thank you, B. You've done an amazing job presenting your team, and we are so grateful to have from real estate, from lenders, from credit, from investment, pretty much everything you need when it comes to establishing your financial life and environment. You have all those expertise part of this committee. Now, this is what I would like to do. I would like to really present it in a way for you to understand what we are doing on the 17th, how we're going to do it, and who are we mainly targeting to help them, step by step. So if you just tune in, you join the African Leadership Group Homeownership and Financial Committee. They are planning an event that they're having on Saturday, February 17, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the African Leadership Group headquarters here in Aurora. Now, the main goal of this committee is to help the entire community build and establish generational wealth. As an organization, we firmly believe that the best way to establish generational wealth is starting by owning your own home, right? So David, real estate, understood it very well, and he tells all the time, either you are paying yourself or you are paying somebody else. Meaning, if you are renting right now, you are paying somebody else's mortgage. Meaning you are contributing to somebody else's generational wealth, right? So what we would like to achieve here is to present, not only present, but show you the pathway, hold your hand to the way that you can establish your own generational wealth. Now, all of us, we have recently seen the influx of migrants that's been coming to this country. Now, as an organization that works with African immigrants, I've noticed that when people talk about the influx of migrants, most of the time people think it's just migrants that came from South America. But I want to let you know, as an organization, we are helping and working with over 1,000 migrants that came from Africa. Now, our goal is to help everybody, right? But we want to shed a light on either you're from South America, you're from Africa, it doesn't matter where you're from, you are welcome to join and participate on this home ownership and financial committee. Now, I know and I remember, as a migrant, when you come here for the first time, you think like, oh, I would never sit and talk like Papa is talking. I'll never sit and talk like B is talking. What I want to do, I want to ask Laura and B, just take us back. The first time you came to this country, what was it like for you?
What was it like for me? Well, I was a kid. I was 11 years old, coming with my parents. I think we waited for so many years for our visa to be approved. You know, I am one of those blessed people that didn't have to come here illegally. And I feel for them because I've seen their struggle too. We didn't have anything. We came into my brother's house. There was probably 10 of us in the house. And my brother was renting. Then, you know, his family was like, you know, we are too many and we are too crowded. You need to kind of move on. So my dad and, you know, my mom and my older siblings, they decided to rent another place. It was a very tiny, small place. I close my eyes and I picture it. Like, it was so little, but, you know, it was our home, right? Then my brother was like, you know, let's just go ahead and buy a home. so we moved to Aurora, to our new home with my brother. And I think that's what started the whole generational wealth, because from there, it gives us the opportunity for the younger ones like myself to see what you can possibly accomplish, what you can possibly do and get as a family. And so, not to make the story so long, I moved out, went to college, got married, got a home, got a second home. Yay! And, we feel terribly blessed, for sure, that our family was able to come here and grow here. Do we want to go back? Sometimes. I think my brothers who are older probably want to leave there more than I do, because that's where they grew up. They came here as an adult, pretty much. But for me, this is my home. This is where I want to be. So.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing. B, how was it for you?
So my story's a little different. I was fortunate enough to be born here in the United States, but my parents came in. My dad came in illegally, my mother came in legally, and so became U.S. citizens in 1981. My father passed away in 82 of a massive heart attack, but because he was a U.S. citizen, was able to benefit from Social Security and things of that nature. And so my mother spoke no English, or very little English, so we had to find, the church thankfully took us in. I mean, she was widowed with 6 children. My oldest brother was 14, and the youngest one of us was 6 years old. And so thankfully a church helped us, gave us English classes similar to what the ALG is doing. I remember even switching our language, because we spoke primarily English or Spanish at home, going from that to going to speaking English then to help my mother catch up. So she had to learn how to drive, she had to get a driver's license, she she came as a young person. I think she was maybe 8, I believe. So she didn't have schooling behind her. So she went to school, got a This was all done by, charities, an organization similar to the African Leadership Group. And then from there, next memories are us to your point, to make a long story very short. My mother, we moved to Colorado. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. And so we moved to Colorado, and we got here. We lived with an uncle with 6 children himself, or 5 children himself. So there was a house of 14 people. We moved out. All I know is that it was a beautiful house. I got my own room. Well, I got to share with my sister my own room. That house, and then we moved to another house. Yeah. And then as I grew up, moved out, we all did. We went and we rented. That's what we did back then. We didn't know any better. Fast forward my career now, and I had asked my mother, hey, Mom, are you a homeowner? I don't know why I never thought of asking her. And she's like, of course I am. I've always have been. I'm like, what? So to me, what that aha moment was that we don't know what we don't know, and we have to normalize speaking finances, speaking wealth. Why not speak wealth? We should be speaking wealth. I should be feeling comfortable enough to go up to somebody and say, Papa, you've been here for a while, you seem successful. How did you get there? Can you talk to me about that? But where did it start, The story of my mother speaking English, not knowing how to speak English, that was very she was so embarrassed, she would tell us, embarrassed to speak the language because it wasn't her native tongue. And so coming to classes, being comfortable enough, even us having this class or the workshop on February 17th on Saturday from 3 to 6 here at the ALG, we'll have interpreters here so you can understand. So you'll leave here feeling empowered to at least take a step. What step you'd like to take, we want to be there with you and hold your hand through it.
So and you've heard it, right? We have 2 leaders in our community. One was born here, another one came here when she was young, but nevertheless, they went through the process where they started from nothing or a little bit, right? So it doesn't matter where you are right now, you might be thinking, home ownership, not for me, right? Or I'm just working and I'm making $15 an hour, $17 an hour. Home, I can't. But this is just to showcase and tell you that it doesn't matter where you are, you can always get there. And the most important thing is you have people from this committee that's going to be able to hold your hand to support you and get you through the finish line. And if that's your interest, which it should be, make it a point to be here on Saturday, February 17. And you heard Beat say, not only we're going to have real estate broker, we're going to have the lending piece, we're going to have the credit, even we're going to have bankers that are here to open a checking account, a saving account to get you started. Now, let's dive deep into it, because I just wanted to paint the picture to showcase that with what we are seeing happening in this country with the influx of migrants, we put this primarily to support you as a new migrant that's just arriving to this country. Now, Laura, help us shed a light on the importance of credit for this new migrant that just get here. How important is it, and how would they start? You know, and what should they bring when they come here on Saturday to just have a conversation to get the process going?
Okay, so for them to I think primarily in the workshop we're going to be offering more so the information, the educational part. Why is credit important? Right here in the United States, it is a tool, and that tool helps us open up so many doors, whether it is homeownership, whether it is obtaining a job, whether it is, you know, furnishing your home, or getting a vehicle so that you can go to work. You know, like these are so many important things that you need to get. But more importantly is so that you don't get scammed, so that you don't get taken advantage of. And that's what this particular event is going to be for, is going to be informing the individual. What do they need to establish credit? What do they need to maintain the credit? Because there's two different things, you know.
Yes.
You can get it started, but if you don't know how to work it, you're just going to ruin it. And what that does, it just makes it even harder for yourself. So educate yourself, make sure you understand how credit works, what's good for you, what's a good credit score, how can you build it, what are some of the things that are being offered out there by financial institutions that can help you build the credit and keep it in a good status.
Which is a great point. Now, we know most of these people, some of them, they filed the asylum papers, some of them might have gotten their paperwork, some of them are waiting, some of them are getting ready to start. And I know here at the African Leadership Group also, we have the legal committee that help, and we are putting together on a workshop to help you if you are in parole or your parole is about to expire. We will help you get through that process. But for me, there's never a perfect time to learn and to educate yourself. Every day, you can learn and educate yourself. While you are waiting even into the process to get your paperwork or your social, you can still get this process going. Can you speak to the fact that some of them that might think like, I don't have my paper, or I don't speak English, I don't even know where to start. Would you be still willing to meet and talk to them?
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that we do at Operation Hope is help individuals without a social security number, understand what an ITIN is, which is another form of identification, right? A number that gets given to you so that you're able to report taxes on. But we have been able to help clients get certain products that helps them build credit. And the beauty about it is that once you get your Social Security, that doesn't stay there. We are able to transfer all that information that you built with the ITIN into your Social Security, so that when you're ready and you get it, you want to become a homeowner or whatever, all that information already follows you. So you don't have to wait until you get your Social Security number.
You've heard it, and in fact, the African Leadership Group is hosting a clinic today to help people file for their tax identification number. Now, I know for some of us, this is a new language that might sound like Chinese. I don't understand what they're talking about, meaning what they mean by ITIN or whatever. All you have to do is be here on Saturday, February 17. We'll have people that will translate for you. We'll have people that will really get you through the finish line to help you understand the process. Yeah. Now, you mentioned it. As an organization, one thing we believe in is if you are not at the table, you are on the menu. Yes. We are all about helping people to professionally integrate. That's why we have the English classes. That's why we have the legal clinic. So it all depends on you, how far you want to go, what you want to learn, how you want to live your life in this country. The most important thing is for you to know that you have people that are willing to be in front of you, behind you, on your side, to do it together with you. So please make it a point to be here on Saturday, February 17. So you will have the team here ready to help you. So be now, just what excitement do you feel when you are in this space doing this work, and when you see the impact? And can you share some impact in the past that we have had doing this work with community members?
Well, the excitement comes from just being here. So it's resources that are in one place. You get to talk to them. You get to get to know us. We are your community. We are part of your community. We're not here to sell you anything. Everybody that we've picked, Papa, in our committee is here because they have a heart for it. And we've all been there. We all have a story of being a migrant in this country, right? Or even a migrant in another country. My husband is still, he has his green card, but he's not a U.S. citizen yet. In fact, he told me to talk to you about coming to legal clinic.
Yes.
So resources that are out here. So it's in one stop. So that's what makes it exciting, is that you come in, we're welcoming, you have the resources here. Don't be shy. Come up to the tables. We have sponsors here that will give you fun knick-knack stuff, but also information that you can take with you and read at your leisure. And the process works. It took a little bit to work, and it will take a little bit to work, so be patient. However, the process works. We have success stories now that we celebrate, right? We had somebody who came in with no credit or not great credit, met with Laura, then met with Dante, and now they're homeowners. And it didn't happen overnight. It took a couple years. But we stood with them, and that's our commitment to you. You show up, that's your commitment to yourself, and our commitment to you is to see you to that finish line.
Yes, thank you. I can tell you, our own staff member, Usman Ba, we call Uzi, went through this process. Now he's a homeowner. Effie, from also the community, went through the process, a single mom. Now she's an homeowner, and many more. So that's really up to you. The testimony are here, and we'll invite them next time you can hear it from them. So all we want to do now, we're not here to tell you that you're going to come Saturday and a month later you're going to be, no. You're going to go through the journey. You're going to educate you, because that's one thing to own a home, but a different story to keep your home. And David will tell you more about it when he joins us. So now, Laura, tell us a little bit more. Now, I know in this country, people ever talk about, okay, it's capitalism, and everything you do, even if that's free, people expect you somehow, some way, they'll ask you to pay. So could you tell them a little bit more about the cost when you come to working with Operation Hope? Does it cost a fee, and how expensive it is, and what is the process with the money they need to pay you?
Yeah, so there is an account. It is the Venmo account, and they would have to send me $1 million so they're able to work with me.
Me too.
The reality of it is that Operation Hope offers services at no cost. Being a nonprofit, and our goal again is to disrupt poverty. It is to not charge any individual that comes through our program at all. The only thing that I ask of every client I meet is commitment. Commitment to coming, commitment to show up, commitment to really work forward. And if you feel like you are stuck somewhere, that you communicate with me so that I can help you find a way to overcome whatever obstacle you found. Because sometimes the obstacles are not financial. Sometimes they're mental.
Yes.
Sometimes, there's something completely different. And through resources that, we can get through the ALG and other organizations, we are able to help them move forward. Yes. But if you just come once, that's not going to do it. Yeah. You have to really commit yourself to the work and to the process. So we don't charge anything.
Our dear Professor Majama, he doesn't like the word, but anytime we say it's free, he fights me.
Oh my God,
because he teaches the public speaking class. Don't tell it's free, even though they don't have to pay money, but they're going to have to dedicate their time. And most importantly for him, they have to pay it forward.
Yeah.
So that's why he doesn't like for us to say the word, because, that man has a lot of wisdom. So even though I don't like to say that. But the bottom line is, Laura is telling you that Operation Hope, the service they provide, is at no cost to you. But in return, you have to commit and dedicate time, but also to pay it forward. Yeah. So now, to end this part of this, and we'll invite the realtor. And so this is one thing I would like to share with you if you are following us. Most likely, the way we speak English, the new migrant, they might not understand exactly what we're saying. But if you are somebody that's following us and understand what we're saying, if you know of any migrant, new arrival that might need this service, most likely they will.
please get them over here. And our address is 10700 East Evans Avenue, Aurora, Colorado. And or you look at African Leadership Group, or you can visit our website, usalg.org. So send them over here on Saturday, February 17. So we'll take care of the rest. All you got to do is be here, and the rest will take care of it.
Yes.
Now, we will be inviting Greg from Chalfa. We'll be inviting David, and we're going to be inviting Carolina to join us now to get into the nitty-gritty of what's going to happen around lending, what's going to happen about real estate, and also how you can get financial support also to establish your...
Yes, free money, well, kind of free money. Not free money, Professor.
Not free money. So,
But
B, I
money.
want to thank you for your leadership and your commitment and your dedication to this cause, and really appreciate your leadership and for the work that you've been doing. So, the superstar. So she's always busy. There's line out the door. But most importantly, we want to remind you that we'll have translators here that's going to help you. Don't let the language barrier stop you from showing up. We'll have people that speak Spanish. We'll have people that speak French. We'll have people that speak Fulani. Whatever language that you speak, we'll have somebody that can help you and translate. So now, Saturday,
February 17th.
at 3 p.m. here at the office. So now, Professor, we're going to transition to the second part. What's going to happen? We just sit and still, right? And we'll bring the rest. And people are looking. Okay.
Go this way.
Ladies.
No, he has it.
Okay.
We're still live, so thank you for still being around. So we are going to the second round of this conversation for the home ownership financial event that's happening on Saturday, February 17th. I tell people, everybody in this community are just amazing people. And most importantly, it's because of their heart, how much they care about the community. The first part, we had B. Gonzalez, the chair of the committee with BMO, that really spent time to talk to us about her journey as a migrant also.
Security number is a must. So unfortunately, right now we're not able to do loans with the ITIN. But folks that have their green card and they're able to get a loan, we work with participating lenders. And so we have over 100, close to over 200 participating lenders. So, I see BMO over there. I see B giving it up in the back, and they're one of them. And so you work with your lender, and they get you approved. And as long as they can get you approved, and you have that Social Security number, we don't have any overlays with Chaffet. You come see us, and someone like Beatrice at BMO has gotten you approved through their programs. You have your green card, you're approvable, you come to us, and I will work with you.
Well, thank you. And I'll come back to you to clarify a couple of more things. Caroline, let me come to you, and maybe it would be good for you to give our viewers a little bit background about yourself, right? So where did you come from? Did you come in as an immigrant? And what was the process like for you? And what does it mean in the current role that you are in to work with immigrants?
Yeah, I am original from Peru, Lima, Peru. I came here at age 21. My entire family, we all moved here. And I started, I did not work in my country when I was there. So when I got a job here, my first job was at Saks Fifth Avenue. And imagine that. I was like spending more than what I was making. And so after a few years there, I decided I need to get out of retail. Because I spend too much money. I love shopping. And I started working for a bank. I said, I need to figure this financial situation. And that's when I started to realize how credit cards work, how savings work. And I turned around, I started fixing my credit. I have been a single mom my entire life. So because of my career in financial, I was able to buy my own house by myself. So little by little learning, and that's what I want to bring to my clients. That if I was able to make it, they can make it. It's all about educating themselves. There's so much opportunity, so much help that you can get in order to become a homeowner. And so yeah, I'm all about teaching and just empower them to be homeowners.
Thank you so much. And you heard it, right? So Carolina herself came from Peru. She's been through the process as an immigrant. For somebody that probably went through the green card process and everything, get lending. So then the beautiful thing is you're going to have people here that probably were exactly where you are today. So they know how it feels to be there where my English is not that perfect yet, or I don't understand what they're talking about. So those are the people that you're going to be working with to hold your hand and get you through the process until you become a homeowner. Now, again, I just want to specify again, it takes time and it is a process, right? So those people are not interested in just turning you into a homeowner right now. If where you are, you need to start with a checking account, that's exactly what they will do. If you need to start with a saving account, exactly what they will do. If you need to spend time with Operation Hope with Laura to say, you know what, let me build my credit, they will do that. Or you say that I'm not even ready to start anywhere, they will be here to educate you. Talking about education, I want to go to the man that's been in the industry for 35 years, you said?
Close to 100, I think.
So, David, I
Yes.
strongly believe that you've seen it all
Yes.
in this community. You've
I
seen it
have.
all. You work people with the African Immigrant Community, people from the Black community. You've seen it all.
Right.
What this journey has been, working with some immigrant to get them through the process. And I want you also to talk about becoming a homeowner, but also to keep it also.
Right. I think it's, the process. First of all, we give you the avenue to, if you make the step of just showing up on February the 17th to educate yourself, it's the most important thing. That means you took the necessary step to get there first. Because the hardest part, most people, believe it or not, it's a mental issue. Mm-hmm. It's more to say, it's the fear of, actually success. Mm-hmm. And if you start getting, I always say, the first thing you ask me, so, I want to get a home. Okay, what is the process? Well, you want to find out, do they know credit? What is credit? I don't know what my credit is. So did they begin? Do you have a job? Just the questions you start asking. How much money have you saved? Just get an idea of where they at, what knowledge do they have, and then you say, of course. Well, what we need to do next? We always want to get the money, of course. But are you in that process? Where are you where you at, education-wise, in regards to the process of getting a home? Because a lot of people, be honest with you, this is a social media world right now. Everybody now get on that internet and do their kind of research. What's the process of getting home? And so you want to find out how educated they are. But you're dealing with immigrants, like you say, in this process, sometimes it takes a couple years.
That's true.
And it's okay. Well, we be on a journey with you if you're serious about getting there. But a lot of times, like we was talking about Operation Hope, the first part might be just going them and establishing credit, going through the process. You even going down to the raw roots of everything on February the 17th. We're going to give you a savings account. We're going to give you a checking account. This is where you need to start the process. And it's just really just educating yourself what the process is. Once you find that process, our job is to help you. So, we get the credit, we go get the money, and then it's another process of finding your home, which I come into. But I know all the players how to get you there. If you short on money, we talk to the down payment assistance people. I have the money, now I just want a low payment, low interest rates. It's a whole process, but it's really finding out where they at, where they start at. And getting to that finish line is about a mentality, because some people go 6 months and then they just stop. What happened? Or some people right at the doorstep and you got them all, and then that fear of just going over to that next step. So getting over that fear and helping them through the journey and say it's possible. Once they get that key in their hand, they all have smiles.
Now, David, look, we are in Colorado now,
Yes.
and I've heard that getting a house is impossible now with the current market and how expensive and if we're talking about over $500,000 to get an average
Right.
house, how our community members can afford it. So can you tell them what's out there? Where do they need to start, right?
Right.
Is there a possibility for them to even to start somewhere?
Well, it depends on what your situation is. I don't care what people, it's always about what your situation is, where you are financially, where you're at. Sometimes I started off with a condo, something that I could afford. And it's all about affordability. It's okay. If I'm renting an apartment, what's wrong with owning my own condo? I'm paying for it most of the same. The mortgage that they charging now is the same as my mortgage I'm about to get. So if I'm already renting and paying $1,500, $1,600 a month, even a little bit more, can I afford this condo? I might start off low and at least I own in a condo, and then you build that equity to get to the next step. And to the next step. Now, I started with a condo, then I got a house, then I get a bigger house, you know. And then, you know, you're raising your family, you're building. It's a big difference when you're renting, and then somebody 6 months later, a year later, you got to get out, or they're kicking you out, or they're raising your rent. It's nice to have a fixed income on your mortgage, a fixed income on something that you know where things at. But we all know the caveats is other than just that fixed income, but it's just, it's possible. Some situations I say, hey man, you might want to wait till the interest rate go down a little bit. Your mortgage payments, if it's $3,500 and you making X amount of dollars, even though you might be able to afford it, you might want to wait. It just depends. Every situation is different. But if you can, I always say, if you can afford getting a home, even a condo, go get it. Because you own it. And there's pride in ownership when you get it.
Well, you've heard it, right? If you just tune in, you join the African Leadership Group Homeownership and Financial Committee getting ready for their event they're going to be having on Saturday, February 17 from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. here at the African Leadership Group. And one of the words that keep coming from David's statement is start. I started with a condo. You got to start. So it doesn't matter wherever you are, just make sure you start. And I think there's this famous saying from Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that say, if you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, something. So what I'm trying to tell you is just start, right?
Yes.
Just start. So that's what I take away from what David just said. So, Greg, let me come to you. I mean, can you tell what is CHAFA and how does it work? Do they get the money from CHAFA? Do they have to pay back whatever it is? So we hear about first down payment assistance.
Yeah.
So tell them, first of all, what is CHAFA as an entity? Do they pay the money back to CHAFA? How does it work? Do they get the money? Do you work with the bank? How does it usually work?
Yeah, so CHAFA is an organization that provides the down payment assistance program. So not the lender. So CHAFA's not going to underwrite the loan, but your loan is going to be with CHAFA, and CHAFA services that loan. It's never going to get sold to anybody else. Your payments are always going to go to CHAFA. Now, how do you get the money? And like David and all of us were talking about the process, right? You said first there's the credit, then you got to go get the loan, and now you got to go get the down payment funds. So the down payment funds from CHAFA come in two different forms. You can get a grant that doesn't have to be paid back, or you can get a second mortgage. It's a second lien, but we call it a silent second because there's no payments on that second mortgage. Now, the grant is money that doesn't have to be paid back, so it's going to come with a slightly higher interest rate than what the second lien is, because those funds do have to be paid back when you refinance or sell your home. And so the grant, if you take 3% of whatever your loan amount is for your home, if you take 3% of that, that's the amount you can get in the form of a grant, as long as it doesn't exceed $25,000. We're gonna cap it at $25,000. Same thing with with the second lien, you can get a little bit more money. You can get 4%, whatever that loan amount is. Those funds have to be paid back when you refinance or sell your home, not to exceed $25,000. So you really want to sit down and make a decision. A, how much money do I think I need to help me get into this home, and then B is you weigh your pros and cons of, do I want the grant that doesn't have to be paid back, I can't get as much, or do I want to get that silent second that does have to be paid back. The way I look at it, sometimes, for me, it's like, hey, I'll take the more of the money. You're in Colorado, you're home. I mean, David, you correct me if I'm wrong. Your home's probably going to appreciate pretty well in value over the years. You're going to be paying down your mortgage, and so it's time to sell your home, even though you're giving a little bit back, depending on how much you got or how much you borrowed. I still think you're walking away with a decent chunk. So we're all about starting the process, right? Getting in somehow, some way. And I say, you get in that home, and if a little bit has to be paid back, then that's what you do. But I think the benefits of that far outweigh whatever the negatives that might come along with it. So that's the process of getting there. You work with your participating lender. They get you approved. You come to us. You get your approved with CHAFA as well, and then away you go with those funds. Those funds can be applied towards down payment and/or closing costs. Both. You have to have a minimum of a 620 credit score to get in. And I will tell you, folks come and they'll have a 580 or a 590. I tell them, that's all right. Let's work with this. Let's take a look at your credit. Let's get you with a credit counselor. Let's get you with someone that's going to show you what debts need to be paid down or paid off, and get you to that 620. I don't care if it's 6 months down the road, a year down the road. We talked about 2 years down the road, but creating that path. So the 620 credit score, $1,000 minimum contribution of your own funds into the transaction, and that's really minimum when you think about the fact that an appraisal is going to cost you about $600-700. You're there already, and your inspection that you have to get is going to cost you about $800-900. You're there already, and that money can even be gifted. You can receive gift money towards that $1,000 contribution from a parent, or whatever the case may be. So those are the main criteria. There's some income limits that you can't exceed. Those are per county where you decide to buy your home in Colorado. So you would really want to, go to the website or check with your local participating lender, and they can tell you what the income limits are for the county. And so that's really the main recipe to get those funds.
Perfect. Can you tell them, if they want to see you?
Yeah.
Where do they need to be?
February 17th.
All right.
3 to 6.
You got it.
No, everybody, February 17th, 3 to 6, come on down. We're going to be here with even more detailed information. I don't want to give it all out.
Yes, that is true. What do you need them to bring with them?
I need you to just bring your positive attitude and your willingness and your heart in it, and just believe that home ownership is possible. Belief is what you got to bring. Bring that belief with you.
I think, Professor, you might have somebody that's going to join you, co-facilitating your public speaking.
Recently moved to BMO, and the main reason why I moved to BMO is because we have so many main reason. We are in the entire country. We have over 60 branches here in Colorado, and it's a big bang, but with a small feeling. We are there to, any questions they have, we help them from the beginning to the end through the mortgage buying process, and it's just a great organization. I have some flyers here. Right now we have a promo that is getting a conventional loan up to 97% loan to value, so the borrower needs to put 3% down, and that can be, if they don't have the 3%, sometimes they can get grants, but there's no mortgage insurance. So that is a great option. We do also offer loans for borrowers that have ITIN. There's some requirements to that, but if you come on the 17th, I'll be able to tell you all about it.
Okay.
And some of the other things that we are offering, borrowers are a little scared about the rates, and one of the things that BMO is doing is lowering your rate without the hassle of refinancing, which I think is a great program, which means they don't need to, let's say, rates go down 6 months from now, 9 months from now, they don't need to refinance, they don't need to apply again, they don't need a credit check, they don't need an appraisal, no income verification, they just need to pay a small fee, and they get a lower rate. So, and there's more details, of course, about this, so,
And you're telling me you just joined BMO?
Yes, I just joined. I'm learning. I'm trying.
She's truly amazing. Now, I want to share this with you as a community leader. Let me tell you why BMO. There's a lot of banks out there, right? There's a lot of banks. For me, I only care about those financial institutions that are willing to show up and be present, and that's what BMO have done for the last few years. Not just to show up and be present, but they were also willing to put their hand in their pocket and support this organization financially. And all we got to do, not only they are educating us, not only they are supporting us financially, not only they are here present, but they care about our community. So B. Gonzalez, the chair of the committee, worked for BMO, and not only she is the chair of the committee, she is the board of director, she took Leadership Africa. I mean, she is heavily involved in this organization, and that's what we want. As much we are asking you as community members to show up, all these partners also, it's important for them to show up, and that's what BMO have done. So I just want to take the time to thank you, to thank B, to thank also BMO for their unwavering support to the organization, and we are very grateful. Now, let me come to you, David. I know we are primarily focusing on helping the migrant, but also, if you already own a home and you are looking to refinance, whatever, we welcome you, right? We welcome you and we want you to participate. Could you now talk to the other people that that are looking to sell, right? That are looking to upgrade. What is the process and how can they work with you? Now, I heard also that real estate brokers, they charge a lot, right? You guys are extremely expensive. Could you kind of tell them also how does it work with the fee? Do they have to pay you? What is the process?
Well, I mean, the process, we can sit down and negotiate, just like anything else in life. We sit down and talk. And I just see what your situation, if you're trying to sell your house, obviously, it's a negotiation process that's there when we sit down. But most of the time I work with people in their current situation, and we try to work things out. So it's pretty simple, but the whole part of the committee and everything is February the 17th. We sit down here. You can ask me any question you want in regards to real estate, listing your house. You want to buy a house, first-time home buyer, I know the whole process, and I will educate you on the process, and I will put you on that journey to getting generational wealth.
That's great. That's great. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, if you are following, you don't want to miss the Saturday, February 17 event. You just don't want to miss it. And let me tell you why. Because you have everybody from the starting to the end, right? Establishing your credit, opening your checking account. And I'm so impressed when I heard BMO said they can help you get a home even when you have an ITIN. And that's the first time I'm hearing such a thing. So get here, get the education that you need. You don't want to be left behind. All you got to do is show up, and as Greg said, with your positive attitude, right? Yes. Come here with the motivation. You know what, even if I'm learning something, that's a good starting point. Again, Saturday, February 17th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you want to ask questions, you want to follow up, you can call us here at the African Leadership Group. So we're going to have another live streaming session also, and this time we're going to invite Habitat for Humanity. And I don't know if you noticed, the African Leadership Group, in partnership with the church, we are building Habitat houses right across the building. And now you can go through the process also to apply, and that's something that they're going to be helping through. So I feel like as an organization, as a committee, we are all doing our part.
Yes.
I don't know, is there anything that you feel like that's missing, David?
Nope.
You know what's missing? Your part.
Yes.
And your part is just to show up. So thank you so much for following us. Any quick last word, David?
Thank you for doing what you do.
Are we all doing it together? Carolina?
No, thank you, and I'll hope to see everyone on the 17th.
Yes.
Now, she just told us she used to work for Saks Fifth Avenue.
Oh, yes.
So we got to make our way in her closet. Greg, any last word, man?
No, just love it. Thank you for having me. Be here. Don't miss it. February 17th.
Yes.
3 to 6. Let's go.
Let's go. And we're going to give a shout out to our dear professor, the old man in the house that was behind the camera, making us look good. So Professor Majama, thank you so much for what you continue to do. And again, if you are not familiar with Professor Majama's book,
Yes.
look it up. He's changing lives. So thank you so much, and hope to be in touch with you soon. And looking forward to seeing you on Saturday, February 17th. Have a great day. Thank you.
Nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.